Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Linda, I am so excited to have you. I love meeting with you every Thursday morning. You are my sunshine.
My only sunshine. You
Woo.
are too. It's kind of cloudy here today, so I'm glad to have it. So,
Aw, I don't like it when it's cloudy.
that's why I live in Denver. I need that 300 plus days of sunshine a year.
I had that conversation yesterday with somebody because they were like, I said that we have magic snow, you know, because we do.
We
Like
do.
one, it snows and it's sunny, and
Uh,
two, if you like to, like, normally most people in Colorado don't fuss about plowing their snow because like you can
it's
shovel your
gone.
snow, the
Yeah.
sun's out, you're not cold. And yeah, we have magic snow. It's not like if you're in an ice storm where your snow is compact and gross. We have great snow. Um,
Yeah, because it disappears
yeah,
in
if you're
between.
on the right side of the street.
And I am on the right side of the street, so it goes away in between, and we don't get that crusty brown leftover stuff all winter long. It's kind of gross. I
Yeah.
like it that way. So,
Yeah, we get the good stuff. So yeah, I was
yes, we
talking about that
do.
the other day. It's sunny. I moved away from the snow, which makes me very sad, but it's still sunny. So
You guys not get snow?
not very much. Yeah, we don't
Really?
get, yeah, Junction does not get hit with snow very often. We're making this a weather thing. Anyways,
Yes.
we-
Sorry.
welcome to Colorado weather. Don't ask us how it is because it'll change in 5 minutes.
They've got the storm moving from the west. We're silly today, so don't mind us.
All right, Linda, you brought up a great topic today when we were talking, and I'm so excited to talk about it. Go ahead and just lead us off.
Well, what I wanted to kind of bring up today is how to manage change but keep your peak performance. Change is just a fact of life. We kid a lot about that in Colorado. If you don't like the weather, wait 2 seconds. Um, but life is about change. If things aren't changing and growing, they're dying. So, as human beings, we need to be adaptable to that change. And there are people that love change and embrace change, and they don't have a problem with that. And then there are people that prefer things how they are. Regardless of what your preference is, there's very little you can do to stop change unless it's change that you are implementing. And you don't want to stop change. You want to incorporate it into the things that you do, into the process that you have, and you want to build in that flexibility. Because what you want to be, as you're planning your day, you're planning your project, whatever, it's not the process to get there that's the plan, it's the outcome that's the plan. And you have to be flexible enough to make the changes in the plan to get to the outcome. If you think about a plane on autopilot. It's auto correcting and fixing itself for the entire flight because there's wind, there's weather, there's a number of things that constantly try to push it off course. And so if it couldn't make that change, if you think you're landing in Heathrow, you're in Jakarta. So our lives are like that. Even if we think we're on autopilot, we need to be able to adjust and make those changes. And I think your OKRs really address that very well, right?
Yeah, what I love about objective key results is the objective is the long term. You when we build it out inside of my clients, or when you build it out, you normally do a 10, a 5, a 6, you could go out to 20. But you bring down your objectives, but you use key results that are measurable. So your objective could be like, my objective is in 20 years, I want to have accountability partners across the world that do what I do and really support people across the world. And so, in order for that to happen, I have to bring that into phases. And so, like, this year's phase is just building the company, right? So you can have a huge objective, but you have to have those smaller key results that are measurable. I would like to have 20 clients, and maybe in 5 years, I want to have two people who are doing accountability other than myself. And so, what does that look like? And really understanding one of the things that we talked about in group accountability was we normally ask for three focuses. And I've always been asking that. And then this month, I'm doing a landmark course, and one of the things that we're talking about is goals. And when they were talking about them, they kind of they struck a nerve with me. And so now when I ask for the focus, I'm asking for three things. When you're focusing or you're creating goals or you're creating objectives or you're creating stuff, there's one that's going to be obtainable, right? My new website is going to be done this month. My website designer said it'll be done on Thursday. I know that that is going to be done. It's a lock. It's not going to make me sad when it doesn't happen because it's a lock. And then you have like a stretch goal, right? One where it could very well happen today. I could very well have 10 clients today, but it might take until, 2 or 3 more months to get those 10 clients, but I'm going to aim for 10 today, and when I don't hit it, I'm not gonna feel bad because it's a stretch goal. So I'll get 3 and I'll be happy with that 3. But really being okay with the fact that, "Hey, this is something that I've set. This is something that I'm going to achieve, but it might not happen in the timely manner that I want it to happen." And then the third one is something that you're just focused on, as in, I'm going to, if you're a workout person, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. If you need to touch base with your social media in your business, I'm going to spend 15 minutes every day inside of groups to converse. Those are tangible, doable kind of things that you can really create for yourself. But don't beat yourself up if you miss that 15 minutes because you had a meeting. Don't always miss the 15 minutes. But don't beat yourself up when, like you said, change happens. But one of the things I think, Linda, when we talk about that and you talk about change, is sometimes we allow our boundaries to get overran.
Mhm.
And that is when change becomes stressful, because you're allowing things that you need to get done for yourself or for your family to get overran by that change. And then you start to get that guilt of, I'm not doing this, or you start to fall behind. I think that's the biggest problem with change for people, is it shifts that calendar.
It shifts the calendar and it shifts the comfort.
Mhm.
Um, and the thing about change is some of it's planned and some of it's not. And some of it's within your control and some of it's not. Um, it's just the thing I always try to remind my clients and remind myself a lot of the time is be be locked in and married on the goal, the outcome, and not the process it takes to get there. Um, and when you're talking about boundaries, sometimes you need to, if those boundaries are being changed or overridden, you have to change how you enforce your boundaries. If it used to be, that you could just tell somebody no and they would respect that, great. And now they're finding ways to not respect that, then maybe you need to find another way to say, I can't do that right now. Because for your mental health and well-being, you need to be able to kind of at least feel like you've got a handle on some things. You can't perform at your best and you can't give your best to any venture, whether it's personal, family, work, whatever, if you're going in doubt. So you have to find that space where you can get in with yourself and say, okay, this may not be what I intended to be doing right now, but it's what needs to be done. And I can realign, I can change my schedule, I can do a few things. An extreme example would be I've been away from my home for 9 months. Um, I'm very blessed to be able to do that. I can work from wherever I am, but circumstances beyond anyone's control, and you just do what you have to do. And that's what a lot of life is. And so we just have to find a way to, if we need to take 10 minutes and step back and just kind of, take a deep breath, or maybe go to a quiet room and scream or whatever. Do what you have to do to get some of that out so that you can focus and look clearly again at what needs to be done, and find a way to alter so that it doesn't become, unless it's necessary, it doesn't have to be a permanent change. Or if it's going to be a permanent change, you can find a way to make that work with the things that you need to be doing. And
Yeah.
that can be a lot, because change is already stressful for a lot of people. And even when it's exciting change and it's change you're looking forward to, there's still stress involved. There's still unknowns. There's still things that need to be addressed, and things you wonder if it's going to be everything you hope and plan it to be. But the only way you find out is to do it.
I love that. And I like the idea of foundation, right? If your boundaries are your foundation, and when a change hits, you can move like you can move that foundation to adjust with that change. You can adjust the times that you do different things. Or you can, I always tell everybody, maybe have a day on the calendar on the 15th of every month, I get caught up,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have a self spa day, whatever your spa day looks like. Um, we've had some rebuttal on the word spa day, but whatever,
It's your
whatever
day.
your spa day looks like.
Yeah.
But if you give yourself buffers, or even, hey, on Wednesdays, I have a 4-hour block at the end of my day where all I'm doing is getting caught up on the week. And then, you get to go home and get to relax. And if you don't have full 4 hours, you get to go home early. But when you're able to buffer those things in, that helps that boundary be able to
Mm-hmm.
move and be able to give space. And I don't think that we give ourselves the space or the accuracy, because we think that every hour has to be booked with stuff. Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're booking that hour with, these are the things I neglected, or these are the things that have been moved, or we're not planning for that change. We're not planning for those things that come in and burden us at times. And so maybe that's a great thing for people to do, is put in a buffer for those things. We all have clients. If there's an emergency, then we don't get to work on our business because we're fixing our clients' emergencies. So that would be a great way to create that boundary of foundation, right? But you have to stand for yourself
Yes.
with that boundary of, no, nothing gets booked on Wednesdays. One of my favorite examples of that is, I have an amazing client. She's a loctician, and she has to do her own locks. And she tells this story all the time, but she stopped. She kept overstepping her boundary of doing her own locks until she lost 2 locks. You have to keep your locks, and you have to keep what you're doing. And that's her story is, hey, if you don't maintain as a client and I don't maintain as a client for myself, then you're going to lose your locks. But that's really, where do you put those spaces for yourself?
And I think for a lot of us, especially those that are solopreneurs, we have a hard time honoring the time we set aside for ourselves. And you just treat yourself like a client for the time that you book yourself. You know, if it's catch up day, if you were a client of someone and that's the time you set aside to do that, you would do it. So do it for yourself, for your business, for, and even if you're not a business owner, we just need to remember to honor the time we set aside for ourselves so that we can be our best and do our best. And it doesn't have to be large blocks of time either, even 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time. you know I used to, when I worked in corporate, my break was I would take 15 minutes and I'd walk outside unless it was freezing cold, because that was
Because
good for me.
Colorado.
Yeah. But I mean, it was good for my, to get away from my desk, get away from my cubicle, get out in the fresh air and just get some sunshine, get some exercise away from where the phone could pull me back, or where somebody could grab me and say, we got 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, I'm on my break. I need to step away. And it's not selfish to put yourself first
Yeah.
when it
And that
needs to be done.
that brings up a great space. Even at work, leave yourself buffer.
Hmm.
The, let people know. Put a sign on the door. This is my catch up hour. Don't enter. Put it on your desk if you don't have a door. Catch up hour, not talking to anybody. They can send you an email. If it's in the office, they can send you an email. You can get to it at the end of the hour, but that's create a space where you can get caught up.
Yeah, I used
Um,
to have a sign that I would put out that just said project time. You know,
Nice.
if it's non-emergent, please put it in my in basket. And because that's the kind of work we were doing at the time, people understood. If you were programming or fixing or doing something, and you needed that focus space, and we were literally in cubicles, it's hard to get quiet and focus. So we just learned to honor. If somebody said they need an hour to work on this without interruption, we tried to give them that.
Yeah, exactly. Linda, I appreciate you so much. Everybody, if you are looking just to really have a base of where you're going and where you're taking your business, or if you work in a corporate office and you need people to understand that you have y- down like boundaries and you need that in your corporate space. Linda is great for small businesses, nonprofits. She is an amazing woman to just bring into your business of any type and really help get you onto that level of balance, and really just securing safety mentally for your clients. Book with Linda. Her QR code is over there. If you're looking for some objective key results, connect with me. And then if you want to see some of our other conversations, please, please, please go view our YouTube channel. It is phenomenal. Have a great day, everybody.